Welcome everyone to Dad's on Wrestling here on the Casa de Teen Studios channel, Renegade Wrestling, whatever you want to call the channel. We are here in studio to talk about last night's Raw and the storyline advancement that happened as a result of that. Yes, sir.
How's last night's Raw and today's Thursday?
Today's Thursday? Is it really Thursday? I've been sleeping for 3 days. I apologize. I've been on the pain meds. I haven't. So I apologize. Today's Thursday. So 1, 2, 3 nights ago.
Yes.
That's what it was.
It just seemed like yesterday.
Seemed like yesterday.
I think we watched yesterday Raw again for the boy to see. I think that's where your confusion
because he finally earned it back today.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Raw on Monday. In the books, y'all know what happened, but yes. we wanted to come together and talk about it together because we haven't done that in a while here on Dad's.
Yes, yes. You know, you're always busy doing your Q&As.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm always talking about my indie wrestling that seems to, you know, get crapped on the channel, but it is what it is.
Yes, thumbs down within a day. It's
someone's got to do something different. We all can't talk about the same crap, otherwise you would get bored of it.
Exactly.
And then you'd be complaining about how we all talk about the same stuff.
Well, either way, they're going to complain, Jay.
Yes, that's true.
To be fair, they're going to complain no matter what.
Like I told Jade.
Yes.
Haters are going to hate.
That's right. Haters going to hate. You must rise above the hate.
Really? Did you have to go there?
I did. I did, because he's right. As much as it sucks, he's right in that case.
Alright, so John Laurinaitis actually did one thing right on Monday night. Granted, it was 1 year, 5 months, and 15 days overdue. But we got to see CM Punk versus Bryan Danielson on WWE television.
For free, though, which is...
Yes, that was the only fail part about it.
Yes.
Because the internet geeks, as they like to call Bryan's fans, would have paid money to see that match.
I still will if it happens again.
Exactly. But
because there was no decisive finish.
They would have paid money to see that match. And that's why I tweeted on Monday that next week on Raw, and I know you said no, save it for Mania, but we know that's not going to happen. So I said next week on Raw, in true ECW style, 3-way dance between Punk, Bryan, and Jericho to see who truly is the best in the world at what they do.
The problem with that is WWE doesn't do ECW three-way dances. They do triple threats, where it's winner take one fall.
That's why I say it has to be
elimination style.
3-way dance style.
But they won't.
I know.
Because it's Vince and Hunter and all those guys booking. But Jericho comes out and ruins the Hakuna Matata.
Yeah. With
the attack on Bryan.
Always has to be a BITCH to F it up.
Yep. Always BITCH in the Hakuna Matata.
So anyways.
But anyway, Jericho breaks up. Code breaks CM Punk and then just kind of slithers out of the ring with no real answers. Yet again, no speaking from Chris Jericho this week. So Jericho apparently is targeting the man who has usurped his best in the world, his pipe bomb status, like you talked about, like I stole from you. So we'll probably see that at Mania. It looks like Sheamus is going to challenge the winner of the SmackDown Chamber match.
More than likely.
If there is a SmackDown Chamber match. We still don't know about that because we don't watch spoilers. We don't read spoilers. We don't watch SmackDown. SmackDown's tomorrow night.
That's right.
So we don't know what's going on there. We do know about the Raw Chamber.
Yes.
We have Punk. We have Dolph. We have Kofi. We have Truth. We have Miz.
I'm blanking too.
I am too. Kofi, Dolph, Miz, Truth, Jericho.
Yeah.
And Punk. So
and I'll bet you that is where the Jericho-Punk storyline will further even more.
Oh, I'm sure. It's probably going to further over the next few weeks going into the Chamber anyway, but it's really going to pick up steam once Punk survives the Chamber and Jericho comes in and attacks him after. Yeah. That's my educated guess anyway.
Yes. That's a very good educated guess.
Thank you.
You know, there's been quite a bit going on Raw in the last few weeks that, you know, since we haven't been able to talk about it and keep it topical, you know, I actually see that there is a change coming. The storm is blowing through, and Hurricane Hunter is starting to right the wrongs of the past administrations.
This is very true.
Sometimes it takes time to overcome and right the wrongs of past administrations. You just got to be patient.
But even a major hurricane will give way to a black hole. like we saw on Monday.
Are you telling me that the Hurricane and Abyss are coming to WWE?
No. What I'm telling you is the Hurricane Hunter encountered a black hole that stopped it dead in its tracks.
This is true.
The Undertaker. And his fake hair.
Yes. Very much fake hair. Oh my God.
It was, wow. It's like, I get that he needed to come back for Mania because Mania is his deal. But why would you shave your head bald knowing you gotta grow it back in a year? I mean, and keep it bald. Because we saw him in June with a baseball cap on, and he was more bald than me. And he's obviously kept it up. Because even if he'd grown it back from then, he'd be more Big Evil than he would be bald. And for him to have to hide it, he must be still bald.
Although, if he had grown it back Big Evil style, he could at least have extensions put in to make it look more real than the atrocity he had on the other night.
That wig, it's like, what is he going to do in 59, whatever it is, 59 days when he goes in the ring against Hunter, and he has to take the hat off? Like, what the hell's going to happen? That's only 2 months to grow back all that hair.
Maybe they're hoping that in the next couple months he'll grow back enough where he can get extensions, and it'll look as long as it did.
Well, let's hope.
And not as fake.
Let's hope, because we all know that even our beloved divas like Natalya get their hair ripped out every now and then if they have extensions in. So, it wouldn't be good if, Undertaker went for the last ride and Hunter grabbed a piece of hair on the way up or something.
Now, what do you think about what appears to be Taker Hunter 3 at Mania?
I was sitting right here in my spot Monday night trying to figure out, because the whole time, ironically enough, the whole time Hunter was just laying in the Laurinaitis. I kept saying, dead man walking, and the gong goes off. I was like, really? Did I actually foreshadow this and not even realize it? Really? And here he comes in the ring, and Laurinaitis is nowhere to be found. He's gone. So,
second smartest thing
he did
that Laurinaitis has done.
Yes, he did two smart things.
He heard the gong and he
was gone. He heard the gong and he was
ran
gone.
like his name was Forrest.
Exactly. Well, we all know he's kind of a dork anyway. Forrest.
Yeah. Anyways,
call him a dork. Anyway, yeah. So his fate will be decided Monday, it appears. But yeah, I don't know if I like the fact they're going for a third round, and if it is the third round between those two, what can they do? Both their matches at Mania, last year's was not as good as 17, no question, but they were both pretty damn epic. What can they do except for the fact of actually Hunter winning that would actually top anything?
There's only one thing that I can think of that they can do. And I gave this some serious thought last night, after I adjourned to my room before I faded off into Never Never Land.
Yes, because we all did that last night. The long night.
Have we seen Hunter versus the Dead Man one-on-one inside the cell yet?
We have not. We've seen Shawn Michaels.
That is the only other thing I can think of that they can do. Because let's think about it here for a second. Undertaker, originator of the cell.
Versus
Shawn.
There you go.
Undertaker then kind of ran with the cell as if it was his personal match. For a minute there.
That was definitely part of his yard.
Until Triple H had his first cell match. And then the cell more or less became Hunter's playground.
They went back and forth.
But they have never met one-on-one in there. And there has not been a cell match at Mania since WrestleMania 15 when they hung the Boss Man.
We don't talk about that. Because that's how much didn't even make the DVD. It was so bad.
It's better than his match against Giant Gonzalez, which I do believe did make the DVD. So let's not hate too much on Boss Man.
Not the Undertaker DVD. I'm talking about the Hell in a Cell DVD.
Oh, okay.
Every match that he had at WrestleMania from 1 through 15, or victories 1 through 15, made that DVD. You're talking about.
That one.
No. Every match was on there. It just some were chopped up. But the Boss Man match, except for the entrances, was in its entirety. The bell rang and off they went. So they showed the whole match. They just didn't show the after part. Undertaker went like this to call for the Brute, and then cut next.
See, that was like the best part of the whole match. The freaking Brute descending from the rafters, dropping the rope down, and then hating Boss Man.
Yeah. No, Undertaker called for the Brute, and then they went to the biker thing at WrestleMania 17. It was like, hey.
But point being, there hasn't been a cell match at Mania since that,
which makes 13 years.
And Hunter and Taker have never fought in a cell.
No, they've not one-on-one.
Yes.
They were inside the cell together in 2000.
The six-pack, right?
The six-man challenge, yes, sir. Where Kurt Angle snuck out of there with the WWF Championship somehow.
That's right.
But
so
one-on-one, that's a very good theory. And if WWE hasn't booked it yet,
maybe
we know y'all watch.
We know some of y'all watch.
We know some of you watch. But we know some of you that can plant things and ideas in heads watch.
We know some of y'all watch, and we know some of y'all can't see us.
That's
you like what I did there?
I'm gonna get crap for that. I'm gonna get crap for that. Okay. Anyway,
but tying back to the whole Triple H Undertaker thing, somebody actually asked on Facebook. It wasn't a direct question to me, it was one of the groups I'm in.
Oh, okay.
And they said, if you could write out the way the Undertaker leaves, how would you write it off? And I posted this, and after I say my scenario, I'll get into some of the feedback I got. But I think it was really, really well thought out.
Okay.
It's going to sound corny, so don't hate on how corny it is, please. Think about it and let it kick around in that brain of yours. Especially if we're having this Hell in a Cell match, it's working even better.
Yeah.
Cell match ends. Taker is victorious. Or loses. Doesn't really matter either way as far as the swan song goes. Lights go off. Gong. 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 Lights come back on and there's a white horse at ringside. And the Undertaker just kind of looks at it, jumps on it, and starts to ride up the ramp. But just when it gets about halfway, Kane's pyros explode. And you see Kane kind of either do like he's been doing, come up through the ring, so if it was that theory, it would have to be the last match of the night, obviously. Or come from under the ring, like he's been hiding in Hornswoggle's playground.
Yeah.
And start to walk up the ramp behind the Undertaker. And the logic behind that whole scenario being going to Revelations in the Bible. Behold the pale horse. The man who sat upon him was death, and hell followed with him. The white horse being the pale horse, Undertaker the dead man, Kane, hellfire, and brimstone follows me.
I need to read the Bible. I really do.
I'm not a big Bible person, but I remember that quote from one of my favorite movies, Tombstone. They use that line in that.
There you go. Now, my question before you get to the feedback, is that why Kane has been so mad lately?
Don't know.
Because we've seen him a few times under the ring. Is Hornswoggle not keeping his lair clean? Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
Because he came up under the ring Monday night to chase Eve, and he was all kinds of mad. Freaking leprechauns, keep your lair clean.
No more Lucky Charms. Stop spilling the cereal.
Especially the marshmallow pieces. If you step on them, you get on your feet and
right?
your shoes.
Right.
I mean,
can you imagine that getting tangled up in Kane's hair?
Oh,
that'd be a nightmare.
I mean, the freaking cereal pieces, at least they squish and it's over with. Marshmallow pieces, that's nasty.
But the feedback that I got was mostly positive.
Okay.
One person, though, was not understanding the white horse.
Got it.
They were like, you got to make it a black horse because the Undertaker's all about darkness and black and all that stuff. It's like, no. The pale horse is a symbol of death.
Yep.
You've got to go with the pale horse. Otherwise, the scripture doesn't work.
Doesn't work in this particular scenario.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And like I said, it sounds corny when you hear the description and everything, but once you put it in perspective of the scripture, It makes perfect sense.
Ironically enough, the $1 Million Man says he's booked for WrestleMania weekend in Miami. I wonder if he's going to help lay this thing out.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome, because he would know better than almost anybody.
Speaking of Hall of Famers.
Yes! Hall of Fame!
We found out on Monday that the Hall of Fame is getting a brand new inductee into the celebrity wing.
Let me see if I can do the Vince description. The baddest man on the planet!
Iron Mike Tyson.
Yes.
And this one can go back and forth a couple of different ways, but for the most part, I approve of this Hall of Fame inductee for the celebrity wing. Probably, aside from Pete Rose and Bob Uecker, it's only like the third one I agree with.
Honestly, of anybody that's in that celebrity wing, both those guys from WrestleMania 14, Pete Rose and Mike Tyson, are definitely the ones that deserve it. Because Pete Rose got his butt whooped 3 years in a row and in a commercial for No Mercy. Mike Tyson was heavily involved in the entire storyline from the night after the Rumble till the WrestleMania press conference. He was there.
He was even at the Rumble in a box seat, wasn't he?
Right.
So he was there for that.
When Austin won the Rumble, that's true. And he was cheering for Austin.
Then he joined
DX, or so we thought. And then he came back 2 years ago now, and rejoined DX and knocked out Chris Jericho. Yes, also the week after Brett did, I found out.
Yes.
I was looking at okay, when did he do this? And I looked up like, wait a minute, I was here the week before, watching Brett come back. So, yeah.
What do you guys think about Mike Tyson being inducted in the Hall of Fame? Let us know.
I definitely approve. I'll tell you what. So, what do you...
I believe that... I'm going out on a limb here, but I believe that Iron Mike going in the Hall of Fame is also #StatBlade.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. And I also believe that either Shawn Michaels or Stone Cold Steve Austin should be the inductor. Yeah, exactly.
What if they did a joint induction?
That'd be kind of sick.
Both of them do it.
It would make perfect sense. I mean, Hunter doing it would be so like, oh, are they doing another one?
Yeah.
He was part of the storyline, but it's like, plus it was Shawn and Steve.
Plus, if they don't get, Mr. Roboto Di Malenko himself to do the Horseman induction, they can always tap Hunter for that.
Exactly. I like that.
I think Malenko has to do that one.
I think he does.
He's the only other active Horseman in the WWE.
Well, they've had plenty of non-active guys in before to do this. I mean, shoot, they freaking had Stallone and Dutch Hogan. They've had DiBiase, who was, he was still part of the company, inducted Sherry, but he's not part of the company right now, and he inducted Duggan last year. So they can get anybody. Shoot, they can find McMichael and that's a strip club somewhere in Detroit, wherever he was last, and bring him in. Hire Jeff Jarrett on contract for one night. Or
I should pop you in the mouth for even mentioning Mongo McMichael. Seriously. Hey. Who knows? Maybe they could get Jarrett. I mean, they're getting Flair, right?
I know. Jarrett's like, fine, you can have Flair, you got me too. Vince is like, I don't want you. I fired you. I like you. You held me up for money.
Oh, God. As Jade would say, I think we've started to go a little BFy.
Yeah, BFy here a little
Can't
bit.
say the words because the boy's actually in the room. Got to keep it semi-PG here.
As PG as possible.
As PG as it can be when The Rock is around.
Yeah, I know. See, that's the problem. I mean, that's the only drawback I have to moving the studio into this setting is we have to be PG more often than not. But it keeps us with a good tongue, and it keeps us honest, and it keeps us whatever I was going to say. I forgot what I was going to say, so I'm just going to kind of like...
So, I believe we're done talking about WWE for the week.
Okay. We should get one more plug-in.
Yes, I was just going to say, we should drop one more plug-in for tomorrow night.
Yes.
6 p.m. Curtis Middle School.
That's why I couldn't find it. I was going to put it in Custer Middle School to look at the address the other day. I'm like, why can't I find it?
Although it's not open to the general public from what I heard.
Well, no, but I was trying to look at the address so we could do the bus route. I'm like, why can't I find it? It was driving me crazy.
The show is not open to the general public for this one, but Pro Wrestling Massive's debut show tomorrow night at Curtis Middle School. The Dads on Wrestling will be there.
Won't tell you what we're doing, but we will be there, and
That's
there will be video footage.
Yes, there will.
There will be.
Might have to document this one.
So, are you talking about taking the camera and going to the locker room behind the scenes? Because that's dangerous.
No. I'm not talking about that kind of documentation.
That's dangerous.
Just, you know.
That stuff gets you fired. Or at least leave of absence for a year.
Putting together kind of like a highlight package,
if
you will,
there you go.
Stuff that went down at the show.
Yep.
So, for the Casa D18 Studios channel, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams.
I am Jeff Meacham.
And we will see you next week on Dads on Wrestling.